right, come on over to Woj's Corner. You know, we break down news and headlines and storylines. And Woj, it's been 626 days since Kevin Durant went down with that torn Achilles. That was Game 5 in 2019 of the NBA Finals. It seems like forever ago, but it's really kind of like 2 years. And so what did those years kind of mean to Kevin Durant? And when you look back at him, or when he looks back at him?
Well, I think for Kevin Durant, certainly the opportunity to win multiple championships, and they won 2 and very likely could have won a 3rd before he got injured and went down. But you look at it as a place going to the Bay Area and Silicon Valley and, with his business partner, Rich Kleiman, kind of starting to build out, something of a sports media and a sports business empire. The Boardroom show started there with him. And so I think you saw Kevin Durant there broaden beyond the court. And then, going to Brooklyn, obviously, there was a whole different kind of ownership, with that situation there and the role he was going to play in helping to build that.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about how Kevin Durant kind of broadened himself outside the lines of the courts a little bit later in the show. But then he kind of took the acumen that he got in Golden State and transitioned it over to Brooklyn and what he's building there. So how did those two things work together to get to us to where we are now?
Yeah, going to Brooklyn, listen, this very much, this was was going to be his organization. Kyrie Irving coming in free agency with him. And then, he and James Harden hatching the plan together in the offseason, that James Harden was going to essentially force his way out of Houston and try to get to Brooklyn. And Sean Marks, the Nets GM, ultimately pulled that off. And the Nets knew this, Kevin Durant could potentially be back in free agency after next season. They want to make sure that they've got Durant for the long term. And I think getting Harden was certainly a part of that. And, Steve Nash is head coach. Now, he had a long relationship with Sean Marks, and that was a guy that he always wanted to talk to about coaching. But his history with Kevin Durant in Golden State and prior, that played a role. And with that, Maria, comes a different level of responsibility, of leadership in trying to now take this organization where you have the talent now, but turn it into a champion, and that's the next step now for KD.
Yeah, and the reality is they haven't been able to build consistency yet. Like we said, KD's been out the last 3 games, and so to see the big 3 on the court again and maybe hopefully spend more time on the court building chemistry, that's something that we have to look forward to in Brooklyn. We always have so many great games coming your way, but how about next Saturday, the Saturday Prime matchup presented by AT&T 5G. On ABC, we got Jimmy Butler and the Heat playing the 6th game of a 7-game road trip against LeBron James and the Lakers. Our coverage for NBA Countdown, though, will start at 8 Eastern.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.